Good afternoon, Black family. We'll be streaming Jason Black. It's 2 hours and 5 minutes. Have a seat. Hope you enjoy.
Greetings, brothers and sisters from around the world, and welcome back to the home, the haven, the stronghold, the everlasting channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the voice of Black America, the Black Authority, broadcasting to you live from the only historically Black college university of higher education and learning in the cosmos. You are, of course, welcome to join us. And join us you shall, because on tonight's program here, and it's going to be a little bit different because we're going to just go ahead and just cut right to it here. You know, we're living in times where being pro-Black, as it were, is kind of coming back into fashion. We're living in times where a lot of folk who were attempting to divorce themselves from being pro-Black, it used to be a dirty word. Now a number of folks are trying to find their pro-Blackness again. A bunch of folks who abandoned the field, been sitting on the sidelines for decades, and in many cases have been aiding and abetting the white supremacists against us. A lot of them have found themselves on the wrong side of history. They're now taking a look at the events as they've unfolded and finding themselves that they chose the wrong side and they backed the wrong horse. And now, as the rest of the society is completely balkanized and let them know that they're coons, house niggas, mammies, bed wenches, and turncoats are no longer necessary, now a bunch of these folks are attempting to scramble their way back over here to our side. Not because they truly believe in what we're doing, but because they got nowhere else to go and they are now outcasts. And probably the biggest, most poignant example of that right now is none other than Oprah Winfrey herself. A woman who has spent the last 4 decades of her life seeing to it that she has reinforced white supremacy, backed white daddy at every single turn, worked against the interests of Black people at every single turn. And she is hoping that there are enough brain-dead, groupie-minded individuals out there who are so desperate for a pat on the head from a celebrity that they will just be feckless, unprincipled cowards like she is. She's testing to see how many there are. As you all know, right now in America, those of us who have been carrying the banner for Black people all these years, and I count you among them, those of you who put skin in the game, those of you who have contributed, those of you who have beat the pavement, we've all spent the last 10 years when this wasn't fashionable, when this wasn't popular, when this wasn't what people wanted to have, we spent the last decade continuing the march, unrelenting, unapologetic, and uncompromising, while individuals like Oprah Winfrey herself were telling us that we were wrong. Oprah Winfrey herself was undermining Black people, and particularly Black men. Oprah Winfrey herself was attacking individuals like Kobe Bryant to get brownie points with the dominant society. Individuals like Oprah Winfrey was doing that because she figured the way things have been are the way they're going to keep going. And what happened was she ran headlong into the new day. She ran headlong into the new way under the sun. She is so used to an environment where she and her white corporate masters control the environment and control the narrative. They lost the narrative, but they didn't get the memo. They lost control of the discussion, but they didn't get the notice. So she waltzed her big, wobbly, happy ass back out here again, figuring, well, all I got to do is say, it's Oprah and you go, girl. And everyone is going to fall at my feet. And this time, that didn't happen. This time, she found out that the society agrees with us, not you. She found out that she's completely out of touch with reality. Now, I'm not a person who is independently wealthy. I'm not a person who is swimming in resources, but I have never allowed what I could not do to prevent me from doing what I can. And as you all are aware, over the course of the last week here, I've stayed busy. I've stayed on top of things. And with some help from our listeners and those of you who've been motivated, on your screen now, as promised, I will admit I did have to kick in a little bit of my own money for these. They weren't completely funded at the local level, but be that as it may. You can see here in Atlanta, their Keisha Bottom B. We got a billboard up for her, and it says it plainly, Mayor Bottoms has failed us. Reparations or resign. Right there on the interstate, big, huge 60-foot billboard. Folks are already talking about it. Folks are already emailing. Folks are already saying, who the hell did that? Because the Democrats told us everything was fine. That's what they told them. Chicago on the Dan Ryan, Lori Lightfoot, everybody's favorite drunk uncle, got her wake-up call this week. She woke up to the wonderful image on people's commutes of seeing a great big billboard outright saying, Mayor Lightfoot, the issue is reparations or resign. So everything ain't all right in Mayberry. Everything ain't okay. Everything's not fine. And another one that was near and dear to me, because I wanted to make sure I took care of this, in Louisville, Kentucky, I had announced that I wanted to get a big billboard in the middle of downtown in Louisville, Kentucky, to let them know that the case of Breonna Taylor and everything that she represents, that we are on the case and that we have not forgotten and we have not let it go. I also wanted to make it very clear who was doing this. And that in this day and age where they have attempted to send in their feminist minions and their LGBT henchmen, for the purposes of distracting and deflecting, of attempting to sow discord and play on the gender war tactic. I wanted to make it clear who was doing this. So I made sure that that billboard said that Black men are here for Breonna Taylor as we have always been. As her boyfriend, Mr. Walker, was attempting to fight for her life and shot back at the police to try to prevent them from murdering this woman. But it is in clear, bold letters, Black men are here for Breonna Taylor. And you know, the situation that we're in today would have been abrogated a long time ago and mitigated a long time ago if these well-to-do bougie niggas who've been making millions of dollars over the years, if they had put some skin in the game, we wouldn't be in this situation right now. Things would be a lot better. These individuals have been assisting, aiding and abetting, pretending there ain't nothing wrong, everything's good for them, so damn the rest of us. They have been willing tools and willing accomplices These individuals have resources that make mine look non-existent. And that is the unforgivable thing for them. The Will Smiths, oh yes, I'm calling you by name. The Will Smiths, the Dwayne Johnsons, the Oprah Winfreys, the Puff Daddies, the T.I.s, yes, even the Killer Mikes. These individuals have had resources, What we have to sit here and scrap for and scrape for and fight for. These individuals have the ability to do 1,000 times what we can do with absolutely no financial impact to them whatsoever. They could do 1,000 times what we're doing, make it look easy with no impact on them. And yet, here we are. They've done nothing with their vast resources. All these niggas that folk keep talking about, well, they giving out scholarships. No. Right now, we need to have a media offensive. But I didn't allow that to be the excuse for not getting it done. So what we did over the course of the last decade, we've slowly built, to the chagrin of these live-in traitors, like Oprah Winfrey and her ilk, these celebrity bougie niggas who've been deadly quiet all this time. Oprah Winfrey didn't say nothing for Sandra Bland, said nothing for Corin Gaines, said nothing for Rakia Boyd, said nothing for Eric Garner, said nothing for Tamir Rice with her huge media platform. She didn't do anything for them. She never demanded justice for any of them. She didn't demand anything. We did that. We changed the national narrative. While Oprah Winfrey was trying to do the bidding of her white masters. We should never forget our traitors, and we should never excuse it. So while she was attempting to help white supremacy, as she always has, we've been out here fighting it. We've been pouring fuel on the fire with our meager resources. Our resources have not been vast. Our resources have not been immense. Our resources have not been enormous. But our resources, as we've been able to put them together, people, they've gotten results. That now Oprah Winfrey, in her desperation and her pathetic state, has looked at what we did. And her masters have told her, nobody's listening to your platform, you big fat mammy wench. No one's listening to you. No one's buying your magazine. They're shutting that down. Nobody's watching your cable television show. You don't run the narrative anymore. So you getting on there and trying to steer people. Remember what I told you all a few weeks ago when she did that Where Do We Go From Here on her network? I told you all, didn't nobody watch that damn thing? Nobody is watching the old black media. That was what I told you. They're the dead black media. Nobody's watching them. Nobody's watching them. You all thought that I was exaggerating or I was just trying to say what sounded cute. No, nobody's watching them. I said this the whole time. Nobody's watching her network. Nobody's watching her program. They're over here watching us. They're following us. Nobody's watching her. Nobody's taking their cues from her. Nobody watched her bull jive ass cable sham program. The people are over here. The soil is listening over here. And if you want the proof of that, let me tell y'all something. Nobody gave a damn about a billboard in the last decade. Nobody. Everybody was trying to figure out how they could get on TV, get on radio, and get on Facebook. Nobody gave a damn about billboards. No one was doing any billboard campaigns. People had completely abandoned billboards. Billboards had been relegated to the Chitlin circuit. Can we just be all the way real? Billboards have been relegated to the level of the Chitlin circuit. But we grabbed them and said, we're going to make it do what it do. We grabbed it and said, We're going to light it up. We're going to take physical real estate. While Oprah was looking for a new white ass to kiss, we're going to make something happen. Nobody was doing that. They had abandoned it. We were the only ones who kept working it and working it and working it. So when I look up after everything that we've done, and when I look up and I see America's favorite mammy, Oprah Winfrey, come and waddle her Jenny Craig flunked, Jenny Craig dropout, Weight Watchers flunky behind out here. And all of a sudden, Oprah Winfrey purchases not one, not two, but out of nowhere, purchases 26 billboards after we announced that that's what we were going to do in Louisville. And she comes rushing out of nowhere and purchases 26 billboards, something that this big, fat, funky heifer ain't never done in her life, people. She never lifted a finger to do this in her entire life. Never lifted a finger. Not one Jello pudding smacking, butterball licking finger in all these decades. She never did this. When have you all ever seen Oprah Winfrey purchase a billboard, a bus stop? When has she ever done that? The only time she talks to people is on her platform because she's there to get ratings for her. She gives not a damn about black people. It's about ratings for her. You can't get ratings from a billboard. When has Oprah ever done this? Can somebody tell me when Oprah has ever done this before? Simple question. Simple question. When has she ever done this? No, you see, we've been doing this. If you all want to know what was the effect of us doing this in New York City, when I told you all doing this is going to have repercussions and create shock waves. If you are wondering if what I was telling you is just hyperbole, is this just Jason talking it up and exaggerating? I told you all what was going to happen in New York after we did that. That when we purchased those billboards in New York, I say we because you all are the family. When we purchased those billboards in New York, some folk were saying, why are you doing this? Why are you doing this in white neighborhoods? Why are you doing this on the Williamsburg Bridge? You all remember, I told you we need to put this front and center so that no one can ignore this. All of a sudden, everybody and their mama wants to get a billboard after we did it. No one was doing this last year. No one was doing this 2 years ago with Botham Jean. When I took the message to the streets, when I got the billboard for Botham Jean in Dallas, and next thing you know, Amber Geiger, first time ever, you saw the police on the defensive, and Amber Geiger goes to prison for a decade. No one was trying to take physical real estate. They had told you we need to be on TV, the internet, radio, or you don't exist. And I said, damn that. Damn that. I'm going to interrupt people's morning commutes. People had abandoned that. So Oprah Winfrey comes and waddles her big wobbly ass down the street and decides to get 26 billboards in Louisville, Kentucky after we did. So this is her white supremacist masters telling her, you better get out there and intercept this. You better get out there and intercept this. You need to do something. Some of these uncontrollable niggas are out here doing the most. You better get out there and do something. So Oprah said, well, we're going to see if we can create some noise with the billboard thing so that people won't be able to tell the difference. I need to buy 26 so that we can hijack the discussion. Because before, people were talking about the one billboard that was purchased by the Black Channel, but Oprah came in to bring the noise and say, okay, I'm going to create some white noise and see if we can disrupt the conversation about this. I'm here to make noise about it. I'm here to disrupt. See if I can get away with that. So she went off, and do you all understand how insulting it is? Do you understand what a tremendous insult that it is for this TGI Fridays escapee to sit up here and purchase these billboards? Mrs. Chef Boyardee, for what she spends on one of her Birkin bags. Do you all understand? For us, it was a tremendous effort for us. This was a big effort for us. We had to sacrifice. I'm not independently wealthy. No, I'm not broke by any stretch of the imagination, but I'm not independently wealthy, people. I went over the numbers of what she spent for those billboards, and those are not Lamar billboards. Those are not Lamar billboards. It's another company. I think Maloney. These are not Lamar billboards. And by the way, they allowed her to post up a message that they wouldn't allow us to post up. Do you all realize that over the last almost a decade of me buying billboards for these purposes, they have never allowed me to put up a billboard asking that somebody be indicted or arrested? Do you understand that? They have never allowed me. Jason Black, in the decade that I've been buying billboards, none of these billboard companies, none of them, Lamar, Clear Channel, Outfront, nobody has allowed me to purchase a billboard asking or suggesting that somebody should be arrested. It has never happened. They won't let you do it. All of a sudden, Oprah Winfrey shows up with a message that all of these billboard companies have never allowed me to say. They've never allowed me to say. No, it's not that the rich get a different set of rules. It is that the puppets and controlled opposition gets a different set of rules. You see, when you're not really a threat to the system, you can go ahead and do that because they know her job is to take attention away from the black folk who are getting the real work done. So she's supposed to sit up here with her faux revolutionary talk. This is her phony revolutionary talk. People, you're hearing and seeing things from her that you never saw in your life. Never saw it. Out of nowhere? People out of nowhere? Come on now. You can't be this dense. This woman's never done this ever before, and then out of nowhere, they allow her to go ahead and post this up. You can't be this dense, people. You can't be this dense. Let's just keep it real. This is controlled opposition. This is phony revolutionary talk from a person who is completely unreliable, because we know that she is a puppet who has been fighting us for the last 4 decades, and all of a sudden she spins on a dime, and then there's some dumb niggas talking about, well, maybe she had an epiphany. Maybe your mama should have had an epiphany before she gave birth to you. We don't have time to be this stupid at this late of an hour. We don't have time to be this damn stupid this late in the day. So Oprah Winfrey goes and takes her cream of wheat built ass out here and buys 26 billboards and then says, well, we're going to see if we can get y'all to sit up here and listen to me. Now, some of you, a lot of you noticed something, and you're right in what you noticed. You're right in what you noticed. You notice that she put this big ass thing for her magazine, which basically is getting ready to go out of business now. But then she puts up this big ass thing on here, this huge logo for her magazine has invaded the front of the damn billboard. So she's using Breonna Taylor for ratings. This is how shameless this fat banana bread built wench is. This is how shameless she is. She's walked right in the damn front door. She is so devoid of morality and so devoid of a conscience that she is blatantly, deliberately, openly using the murder of Breonna Taylor to try to hawk her freaking magazine. Now, I'm going to explain to you all exactly how it works here, okay? Here's a picture of the billboard that I put up. Let me say the billboard we put up. This is a picture of the billboard we put up. I paid for the billboard in Louisville, Kentucky. I paid for that one myself. But I'm putting this on the B1 family. Now, you take a look at that billboard right there. Now, for those of you who've been trying to purchase billboards in other cities with messages similar to mine, when I told you all what was going on, you all found out when you called these billboard companies, what I told you was correct. Because of the nature of the message that we want to post is controversial. And the billboard companies, in order to direct attention away from them, whoever purchases these type of billboards, they want attribution. They want to post on the billboards who it is who's posting this so that people won't be looking at the billboard company, so that the people, if people see this and don't like it, they know who it is who paid for this. So for my billboards, Lamar requires me to give attribution on my billboards. They require it. So this is why whenever you all have seen me post my billboards and stuff, it says who it's from and what it's for. It says Black Channel Films, paid for by Black Channel Films, because Lamar requires me to do Lamar, Outfront, Clear Channel, but I do most of my business with Lamar, but they require attribution. They require you to, because you bought the billboard, they require you to say you did this. No, they didn't have to have attribution for the Back to Badge billboards because Lamar, the company itself, volunteered to put up those billboards to advocate for police on their own. But for us here in the New Black Media, here at the Black Channel, they required me to post attribution on the billboards, to post who paid for it. Now, here's the thing. Even though they said that, you all see what I did. I minimized the attribution as much as I could. I shrunk it down as much as I could. I put it down in the lower corner. Now, it needed to be big enough that people could see it. You can't make it so small that nobody can see it. So if you want to know, well, you still made it big enough folks can read it. Well, you have to make it big enough people can read it. That you can't play no games about this. They have to approve your artwork before they put it up. So you can't play no games. So I don't try to get around the rules. I just say, okay, we're going to work within the rules and make it do what it do. But I couldn't make it so small that you can't see it or that you can't make it out. People need to be able to make it out. Otherwise, there's no attribution. So I made it as small as I could and still get it approved. You take a look at this. This is probably what, 5% of the space on this billboard? As small as I could get it. As small as I could get it. Now take a look at Oprah Winfrey's billboard. I'll be damned, this heifer is taking up damn near 20% of the billboard space is her logo with a quote and her name on it. This is disgusting. This is reprehensible. You are a despicable piece of filth, Oprah Winfrey. You are as disgusting as we've always known you are. You sickening pustule on the butt cheeks of society. She is a despicable, vomit-inducing whore. She wants to take up damn near 20% of the billboard space for herself. So Breonna Taylor becomes a damn footnote on her own billboard because Oprah Winfrey is going to use this as an opportunity to advertise for herself. This shameless piece of trash. People, this ain't no damn game to me. Don't you tell me about no damn epiphany and you see what's on this damn screen. Attribution, you all saw my billboard. This is not attribution, this is advertising. This is not attribution. This is just advertising. She's using this young woman's murder as an opportunity to advertise for herself. This shameless piece of garbage. Why didn't she just put her name in the lower right-hand corner, just like I did? Paid for by Oprah Winfrey. Paid for by O Magazine. Maybe you want to make the payment through one of your corporate, subsidiaries. Okay, O Magazine. Paid for by O Magazine. Just put it down there in the lower right-hand corner in little itty-bitty letters so that you are not sitting here competing. Do y'all see how much you got to read on this damn thing? Oh, the Oprah Magazine. If you turn a blind eye to racism, you become an accomplice to it with Oprah's signature in cursive. Then you've got to say all that to get over to demand that the police involved in killing Breonna Taylor be arrested and charged. Visit untilfreedom.com. Did you see that? People, do you realize that her quote is longer? She used more words on her side of the billboard. She used more words on her side of the billboard than she did on the side of the billboard discussing Breonna Taylor. Did you get that? No, I'm not minimizing this. I'm not exaggerating it. People, if you do the word count, count the number of words. 15 to 13. If you count the website, 15 to 15, but if you count the Oprah Magazine, 18 or 19 to 15. She used more words on the left side of this billboard talking about herself than she did about Breonna Taylor. You don't think that this is reprehensible? You don't think this is reprehensible? She used more words for herself than she did for Breonna Taylor, and you still caping and backing it? Oh no, people, I'm giving you the 720 degrees. Did you even count the words? This is just another narcissistic trip for an evil, disgusting individual. She is beyond reprehensible. She is an insult to humanity. Imagine if Breonna Taylor were your daughter and Oprah Winfrey comes booming into town, fresh off the Weight Watchers bus, with a Krispy Kreme donut in one hand, a Baconator in her lap, and a Diet Coke in the other hand, and she comes crunching and munching her way up your sidewalk. And she puts up a billboard for the purposes of promoting herself. And this is your daughter who's been killed. This is your daughter who's been murdered. And Oprah Winfrey says, well, here's an opportunity for me to sell some more magazines on my way out the door. So Oprah apparently was composing and arranging the layout for this billboard at the drive-thru at Dunkin' Donuts, while the real soldiers were out here doing the work. The real soldiers were out here doing the work. And we didn't get any help from her in 4 decades. She has worked against us. No, you'll never be forgiven for that. And you think you're going to parachute in at the last minute and hijack this new media network. We put together our own media advertising network. We put together our own advertising apparatus, using social media, using billboards that everybody else had abandoned. We put together our own national media apparatus, our own advertising network. Oprah was given one. We put one together piecemeal on our own. And here she comes over here to say, I want to hijack that. I'm going to take that over because what you all are saying is too damn serious. I want people to believe that when they say Breonna Taylor billboards, they won't be able to Google the Black channel. Do you all realize that before now, when it said Breonna Taylor billboard, it came to the Black channel, Now, when you type in Breonna Taylor billboard, it goes to Oprah. Did you all get that? So now when you type in Breonna Taylor billboard, it goes to Oprah. They hijacked what we did. They saw that we were effective, they stole it and hijacked it. And I have no ego to inflate or offend. It doesn't bother me that billboards were put up. It bothers me that I understand that Oprah is a tool of the very white supremacists that this billboard is pretending to fight. She's here to misdirect and mislead and divert this energy in a different direction, to divert the soldiers into a different direction. She's not here to serve us. Do you all think that she's going to do a television program where she investigates the killers of Breonna Taylor? Why doesn't she do that? She's certainly got the means to do it. Why doesn't she put together a special where she does an investigative expose on the coon-ass attorney general, the cops, the police chief, the alderman, the councilman? Why doesn't she do that? She certainly wanted to flip things on Michael Jackson. She certainly has aided and abetted the white media in that. Why doesn't she do that now? People, if she was really serious. I wasn't joking about what I said. For those 26 billboards, I went through the math on it. It's about the cost of an for her, it'd be probably one of her cast off Hermes Birkin bags. But for what she spends on one of her top dollar purses, she was able to just throw that pocket change out there to get billboards. People, understand something. We've been in the soil years. We've been in the soil day and night. We were here before Oprah Winfrey decided to try this con game, and we're going to be here after that. People, these people are visiting. When I saw these celebrities talking about bailing folk out of jail, you niggas is phony. You're visiting here. I live here. I've been doing this for a decade when you were fighting us and telling black society and white society ain't no racial problem because you've had interracial sexual access. Looking at you, Jamie Foxx. I live here. This isn't something that I dip my toe in because it's where the people are looking at. I'm here when the reason people are looking at this is because of 10 years of us beating the pavement and pounding the pavement and getting attention on this. I'm not a visitor. I'm not a tourist. I'm not visiting this place. I live here. I can name all of these people because I live here. I can name all these innocent victims of white supremacist violence because I live here. Oprah can't name 2 of them. I live here. And that's where the damn insult of this is, because in all these years, I ain't seen your ass, Oprah. Oh, I'm sorry. You were working against us and telling folk that black males are rape culture and that we're the enemy and got it coming to us. You've been helping them. Up until they decided they were going to turn on you. Now you're trying to save your own life. I live here. I'm not visiting. Breonna Taylor's people didn't have to beg us to acknowledge what happened to her any more than Terrence Crutcher, James Du Bois, Tamir Rice, Eric Garner, Philando Castile, Oscar Grant. They didn't have to beg us or ask us. Sandra Bland, while Oprah Winfrey was ignoring her, we didn't just do one program about Sandra Bland. We've done several. We keep invoking her name. Rakia Boyd, Martina McBride, we keep invoking their names. Breonna Taylor, we keep saying the name. Ayanna Jones, we keep saying the name. Oprah Winfrey don't know none of these people. She knows Breonna Taylor for this week, and then as soon as she goes back to the Gucci store or Barney's, she's going to forget them again. You're not real people to her. She don't give a damn about you. You are a cause that she's able to piggyback on to get attention for herself. She doesn't give a damn about black folk. Not a damn. Some people would try to say that, well, but the folks that she's helping, this can be going into the right place. Well, let's go ahead and take a look at that here.
Hey, what's up, y'all? I hope y'all wearing your mask everywhere you go, and more specifically that KN95, protecting against all the germs that are in the air. But also, I want to tell y'all one more thing to stay safe. Hand sanitizer, but with aloe vera. So you put some of this on, you rub it around. Not only do you knock all the germs, but the aloe vera smells so amazing that you're killing two birds with one stone without drying out your skin. With traditional hand sanitizer, you just hands feeling clammy and disgusting. So definitely get hand sanitizer with aloe vera. So one more thing I want to tell you about though. This code right here, cut the check. So let's say you bought a couple of masks, you bought a couple of hand sanitizers, and your order exceeds $50, we waive the shipping fee with the code cut the check. So on your checkout, remember to put that in.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are living in extreme times right now as to where we need protection. If you're looking for tactical gear, whether it's for work purposes or protect yourself in your home, come and check out Center Fire Tactical Gear. We have the best tactical gear for you. We have top of the line name brand companies such as AR500, Chase Tactical, and many more. Also, we're carrying the KN95 mask as well. Check us out at www.centerfiretacticalgear.com.
Let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right. I'll take a look into it here. I'll go ahead and see that. We'll go ahead and take a look at that. Now, before I say anything else, I want to say very clearly, Tamika Mallory is a sincere individual. Tamika Mallory has been doing a bunch of work behind the scenes. Tamika Mallory has not been a clout chaser. Tamika Mallory, this is a person we talked about. This is a person we talked to. Tamika is a sincere individual. She could have done a lot of damn things with her life, and she chose to do this. And I could tell you about other things that Tamika has done that people don't even know about, by the way. This is a young woman who has made this her life. I cannot take anything from her, and I will not take anything from her because I can't take anything from her. Tamika has done the work, okay? Tamika's done the work. She's done the work. And she stood up to a lot of pressure from a lot of people. I don't really dig that feminist thing about it, but that to the side, Tamika has done the work, okay? She's done the work. My son is sincere. You know, he was in my documentary Race War. My son is sincere. It's not their motives. It's not them or their motives that I question. I think that I think they feel that, you know, they've raised the profile of these things, and they have. They have. But let's just be very clear. Tamika and my son didn't need Oprah Winfrey to raise the profile of these issues. The new black media and Tamika and everybody who's out there in the streets, we raised the profile of this issue. Oprah is a non-factor. Brothers and sisters, Oprah's 26 billboards are a non-factor. We already did the heavy lifting. Oprah didn't do this, we did it. So I have nothing to thank Oprah for. The work was already done. Oprah's parachuting in after the game has been won, talking about, yeah, let me wipe the sweat off my brow. Doesn't have a speck of dirt on her lily white uniform. We all did the work. We all did the work. But this until freedom thing, I got questions about that. I got questions about that because this is what Oprah is promoting. And when you go to their website, Until Freedom, I'm feeling like Oprah is using sincere people as a photo op and a backdrop to provide cover for her own ass. So when you take a look at it, I'm going to go ahead and blow this up a little bit more here so you all can see this. Let me go ahead and get this up on your screen so you can see this. It says that Until Freedom is an intersectional social justice organization rooted in the leadership of diverse people of color to address systemic and racial injustice. Already, I'm seeing problems already. When we allow it to be turned into intersectional, brothers and sisters, it's about Black people. It's not an intersectional issue. The police are not hunting down gays. They're not hunting down unarmed gays. You're not hearing about any death squads or gangs within the New York Police Department or Los Angeles Police Department who have tattoos indicating that they're targeting gays. The cops in Los Angeles, the cops in Dallas, the cops in New York, they got tattoos that indicate that they target Black people, not Latinos, not Asians, not gays, Black people. These tattoos of these race soldiers who have their own little gangs and units that we've been busting all these years, they've got their tattoos clearly state that they're targeting Black people. They're not targeting anybody else. So there is no intersectionalism here. Intersectionalism don't do a damn thing for us. The only thing that intersectionalism can do is divert attention. So let's get over that right now. These people are not targeting intersectional. They're targeting Black. It goes on to say, at Until Freedom, we believe that those closest to the pain are closest to the solution. Therefore, we focus on investing in those who are the most directly impacted by cyclical poverty, inequality, and state violence. We are a clearinghouse for advocates, new and budding activists, seasoned community organizers, Barack Obama, students, movement lawyers, entertainers and artists, policy experts, formerly and currently incarcerated individuals, and survivors of gun violence to work linearly to uplift all of our people. Everyone is worthy. Everyone is needed to win. We're working with all these people to uplift all of our people. Everyone is worthy. Everyone is needed to win. Intersectional, social justice. All our people. Everyone. 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 And when I read that, all of a sudden, Oprah Winfrey being so eager to come running into the situation, it all suddenly makes a lot more sense. It falls in your lap, and this all makes a lot more sense. Why Oprah showed up now, why she's so willing to be a part of this when she has avoided it before now. All of a sudden, it just makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. Now, on their website, Until Freedom, and you can go to untilfreedom.com, it goes on to say, we seek to fulfill our mission through campaign development with tangible demands. When presented with a tragedy, a case of injustice, or bad policy, we have the ability to build a multifaceted and multi-pronged campaign that includes digital communications, messaging, a power analysis, and winnable tasks. Rapid response and triage. We have the training and ability to quickly mobilize contacts, organizers, faith leaders, and organizations. Training and resource development with a focus on underserved communities. We seek to fulfill our mission through training and resource development with a focus on underserved communities. We have expertise on a wide range of issues and have a track record of providing sought-out workshops and trainings in organizing 101, building your brand, how to use social media effectively, Media 101, financial literacy, crisis communications and management, amongst other topics and subjects. Media advocacy, effectively using the media to raise awareness on important issues impacting Black and brown communities, Black and brown communities, Black and brown communities. So in case you thought the intersectional social justice, all of our people, everyone is worthy, in case you all thought that it didn't mean what I said it meant, when you read, yeah, it means exactly what I said it meant. It said exactly what I said it meant. Effectively using the media to raise awareness on important issues impacting Black and brown communities through editorial board meetings, opinion pieces, relationship building. Partnerships with influencers to uplift campaigns and stories. We act as a clearinghouse for influencers and artists on issue campaigns and provide resources and information that can amplify important community-led solutions. And lastly, faith-based outreach and engagement. No wonder Oprah was so eager to be a part of this. No wonder Oprah didn't mind lending her strength to the cause. No wonder Oprah didn't mind promoting this. Probably made it because she's not going to put her name on nothing that she didn't actually engineer. I'm not going to impugn the character or the motives of the people that I mentioned here before. They put in enough work to be respected, but what I am going to say is that what is being advocated on this untilfreedom.com, this is more of the same smoke and mirrors. I can't trust this. I want to talk about Black people and nothing else because Black people are being targeted and no one else. If they were targeting, quote, everyone, I'd be talking about everyone. They're not. They're targeting us. They're targeting Black people. So I can't rock with the rest of this they're talking about. I can't rock with that. They're not targeting all of you. They're targeting all of us. And many of these other people, if I can just be very honest about this, many of these other people are the ones targeting us. That LGBT police chief in Aurora, Colorado, what's her name? Vanessa Wilson, I think her name is. She was the interim police chief when Elijah McClain was strangled to death by the Aurora Police Department. And then she fired the officers who went back to the scene of the murder and took selfies mocking, strangling him to death in a chokehold. But what you all didn't know was that I read the article where she was talking about firing them. And she said, it was an unfortunate incident. This man was killed by the media and everybody else was saying chokehold, chokehold, chokehold. But the Aurora police chief, Vanessa Wilson, I believe her name is, she said he was in a carotid control hold. Everybody else in the media were saying chokehold, chokehold, chokehold. But the LGBT police chief in Aurora, Colorado called it a carotid control hold. Now, to my medical people out here, to my nurses, my medical professionals, will you please explain to me how in the flip-floppity flam you can control the carotid artery? You're talking about the carotid artery as if it's a muscle. You can't control the carotid artery. You can allow blood flow to the brain or you can stop it. You can't control it. She called it after people kept saying to her chokehold, she wanted to correct them and say it was a carotid control hold. She was the interim chief of police. Now you all saw that they pulled over a Dodge Journey. Wrong license plates. The police were looking for a motorcycle with out-of-state plates. They pulled over a Dodge Journey with in-state plates. It was a car full of girls, and I mean girls, children, with their mother, and the police in Aurora, Colorado yanked them all out, put them face first on the hot ass asphalt in the middle of the day with guns drawn on 6 girls. You got the wrong damn car and everything. Do you know what the response of the Aurora city manager and city council was? They promoted Vanessa Wilson from interim police chief to permanent police chief. She is now the police chief of Aurora, Colorado in full. She's the police chief in full now. This is your LGBT allies. These are your LGBT allies, people. So when you sit up here and tell me about intersectional, are you out of your mind? The intersectional people of the dominant society are targeting us and saying that choking us to death is a carotid control hold. Are you out of your damn mind? A carotid control hold. Are you crazy? Intersectional. When we're being targeted, black people are being targeted by the intersectional folk, and we're supposed to go advocate for them when we're being targeted by them. And that includes Oprah, by the way. If we're going to talk about the intersectional people, we got to include Oprah, don't we? If we're going to talk about LGBT, let's be sure to include Oprah. When you go to Los Angeles, the cops who are targeting black folk, those are a bunch of Latinos. You're black and brown. The brown folks are targeting us. Will someone please tell me a police department in this country where the black police officers have formed a clique where they go around targeting non-black people of any color? Name them. Because I can name for you the Latinos in California, in the Los Angeles Police Department, San Francisco Police Department, Sacramento Police Department, New York Police Department, Dallas Police Department. I can name for you the groups of white and brown Latinos who get together and target black people. Can you name for me a clique of black police officers who've gotten together and formed a group where they target non-black people? Name one. Name one. So you're telling me that we need to get together and Oprah Winfrey needs to get us to advocate for black and brown people. And the brown folk are targeting us. The brown people are the very people that we need to get protection from. There are no black people targeting them. So don't tell me that that the strategy we need to employ is everybody's strategy. Folks, let me say this in no uncertain terms so that you are very, very clear about what the issue is. I didn't do this for anybody but black folk. I didn't do this for anyone but black folk. When we said reparations or resign, everybody knows we talking about black people. Reparations for us. For Breonna Taylor, I made it very, very clear that this is a racial issue. And most of you never thought you'd see a billboard like this in your life. It's certainly not in the busiest intersection in town. I made sure that it was clear that the terms of discussion are racial. Black men are here for Breonna Taylor. That's what the issue is. Oprah Winfrey, I don't know what the hell she's talking about. if you turn a blind eye to racism. Well, what does racism mean? Well, when you go to Until Freedom's website, it's everybody. They talk about racism, they're discussing everybody. I'm not discussing everybody. I'm discussing black people because we're the only ones being targeted. I'm discussing us. I'm discussing who we are. I'm discussing our experience. I'm discussing where we at because nobody else is being targeted. So I don't want to discuss anyone else. I'm not going to change the subject. The issue is that we are being targeted because we are black. And every time we allow somebody to step in and change the discussion and mislead us and send us in a different direction and tell us it's about something else, we are doing ourselves hideous amounts of grievous harm. It ain't about everybody. It's about us. Not because we are narcissistic, not because we are self-absorbed, not because we are selfish, but because what is happening to us is the issue. And other folks are trying to come along and change the subject so they can return to brutalizing us with impunity. We are the only topic of discussion because we are the only ones being targeted. Everyone is trying to embark on a campaign where they attempt to change the subject and say, well, it ain't just you being targeted. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. From the courts to the judges to the police departments to the media to the schools, it's just us. It's just us. So right now, we have witnessed as the old black media is desperately attempting to regain its relevance, as the old black media is desperately attempting to get the rest of the world to change the subject. They're trying to get us all to talk about and discuss everything else but the issue. And right now, what we did was we changed everything. In 40 years, Oprah Winfrey has never said a word to defend black people, and there have been dozens of victims of police violence that have made the national headlines, and Oprah never came to their defense. She never bought a billboard, never bought a bus bench, never bought a t-shirt, never did anything in 4 decades. She is the definition of insincere to come running up on this now. And it is an insult for anybody to sit here and state her name next to ours because she's done nothing. She's done nothing. Nothing at all. This is bait and switch. But I want you all to understand, I've told you all this here for years, and I want to say it to you again. You're witnessing what's happening is now they have left the confines of their media platforms, and they've come over here to ours. They've come to the internet. They've come to the billboards. They've come to social media. They're trying to win the battle on our turf now. You know why? Because we're winning. You see, Oprah Winfrey's white masters ain't gonna come over here. They're not gonna come over here. They're gonna send her over here. But people, she's coming over here because we have been effective. They're coming over here now because we have been effective. So when you see them attempting to make incursions into our territory, I want you to understand, this is not a bad thing. Oh no, to the contrary, this is good. Oh, this is damn good. Because you're showing us that you're afraid. You're showing us that what we've been doing has worked. You're showing us that you ain't got no answers. You're showing us that what we are doing has had the intended effect. Brothers and sisters, Oprah has abandoned her media platforms, folks. her cable TV show, her magazine. She's not trying to fight the battle over there. 15 years ago, she never would have done this. Why did she leave the confines of her television show and her book club? Why did she leave their confines to come over here to where we have been utilizing these media platforms? Why is she coming over here? Nobody was doing a damn thing with billboards before we started doing it here over the last 5 years. Why are they all coming over here now? Because they see that what we are doing is effective. What we are doing is changing things. So everybody wants a taste of that kind of power now. They're coming over here trying to utilize our tactics because our tactics are working. That's what I'm telling you. If Oprah Winfrey's tactics were working, if that where do we go from here now, if that was really working, Oprah would be doing another TV special. She ain't doing that. She's coming over here to where we are. She's trying to hijack our tactics. This multi-billion dollar woman, why ain't she using hers? She's not using hers because it ain't working. So she's saying, if I'm going to get anything done, I got to go over there where y'all are. People, recognize when you're winning. Folks, I didn't go to where she is. She's come over here where we are. She has come over here to where we are in force. Yeah, Oprah, I know you would have liked to have had one of the big billboards in town, because let me be very clear, we got the biggest one in town. I know you would have liked to have that, Oprah, but we already got that. You know why? Because you're a bullcrap artist. You're full of crap. You're not sincere. And while you were sitting around helping the white supremacists, we were purchasing the biggest billboard in town to advocate for the people. You're the Johnny come lately. You see, the billboard wasn't available because while you were faking it, we were doing it. I know you wanted that billboard. You can't get it. All you can get are those little small posters. You can't get it. Because if you were sincere, you would have already gotten it. If you were sincere, I wouldn't have to be doing any of this. I'd be like, you know what? Oprah's going to take care of this. Oprah's got the means. She'll take care of this if we could depend on you, but we can't. So it wasn't available to you. I know you would have liked to have had it so that you could have blacked us out altogether. You couldn't do it because we beat you to it. But the reason we beat you to it is because we're real and you're not. We're real and you're not. So what you got right now are people who are either going to kiss her ass or not. And we're not going to kiss your ass because we understand you work for the bad guys. People, the national conversation has changed. The national narrative has changed. Things are different now. Things are a hell of a lot different now. People, for her, why didn't she just buy 10 billboards? Why ain't that enough? Why you got to get damn near 30 billboards? Why? Why do that? What point are you trying to make? The point was she saw what we had done and they wanted to come in with overwhelming force in order to push us off of the search engines, to push us off the front page. Her goal was to swing in and to erase us from the discussion in Louisville, so that when you discuss Breonna Taylor, now you find yourself looking to talk to Oprah, not looking to talk to the actual soldiers who are fighting the white supremacist murderers who killed them. Just understand that's what you're up against now. That's what you're fighting. And we're old hands at this. Oh, we're old hands at this. We've been doing this summers and winters. We're old hands at this. They don't understand it's a new day. Nobody is looking for the celebrities to lead. It's cool if the celebrities agree with us, but nobody's looking for you to lead. Nobody is looking to celebrities to lead. We're only checking to see whether or not you're going to toe the line, but we're not looking for you to lead. And when it comes to people like Brian Ellis, when it comes to people like Tafari, people like Jada Anderson, People like Vinny 101 or Vinny 01. I want you all to understand, you all are the reason why Oprah and everybody else has changed their tune. And I just wanted to send a salute to all of you. You're the reason why this has happened. If it was just me by myself, it wouldn't matter none. But you're the reason why this has occurred. It has occurred because we've gotten up and said we ain't waiting on them. And furthermore, let me tell you something. We don't want to leave it up to Oprah Winfrey no damn way. Would you all really want to leave it up to Oprah Winfrey to buy the billboards and everything and to control the discussion? Would you really want that? Even though our resources are more meager and more modest, would you really want to turn it over to her in the first damn place? Yeah, I understand we're not able to do quite as much as we would like to do. I mean, that just goes with the territory. Can you ever do as much as you would like to do? But brothers and sisters from around the world, would we really want to leave this in Oprah Winfrey's hands in the first place? Even if she was willing to bankroll this or whatever, would we really want to leave this up to her? Would you really want to leave the discussion up to P. Diddy? Would you really want to leave the discussion up to Jay-Z or Beyonce? Would you really want to leave it up to them? Because the first time that the Super Bowl or some big corporate sponsor comes and says, hey, did you really mean Black lives? Did you really mean reparations like that? They were trying to water down what we mean. So truth be told, yeah, it's more difficult like this. But by the way, would we really want to have to leave it up to them in the first place? I wouldn't. Yes, we're up in multiple cities: Chicago, Atlanta, New York, Chicago, Atlanta, Louisville. In the middle of an election year, Joe Biden's numbers are starting to go down again. He opened his mouth and said what he really meant this week, talking about unlike Black people, unlike African Americans, Latinos are very diverse and have diversity of thought. Unlike Black people. Why didn't he just leave us out of that altogether? No, he wanted to make sure they can't afford dog whistles anymore. They just got to say it like it is. Look, we need Latinos, illegals. We need for y'all to supplement this Black vote because the Black vote ain't fooling with us. Why do you think everybody has gotten so damn desperate and so damn active all of a sudden, people? They've gotten desperate and active all of a sudden because they're looking up and seeing that Black folk are getting on code. There is a unified message coming out of Black society. Folks, these politicians are not confused about what it is we want. They know what it is we want. They're trying to figure out how not to do it and to get our vote. But they heard loud and clear what we want. They heard loud and clear what we're looking for. They heard loud and clear what the deal is. They heard it loud and clear. Why are they all getting so desperate now? Why are they all panicking now? Why is it that they're all coming out of the shadows now? Why are they doing all this extra stuff, man? When they ain't never did anything like this before. They've all been quiet for 4 damn decades. Now, all of a sudden, they're activists. Now, all of a sudden, you're phony pro-Black, you're born-again pro-Blacks are trying to weasel their way out from slither their way out from under some rock somewhere with the other slimy, disgusting things. And all of a sudden, they're trying to sit up here and encroach on our territory. Why all of a sudden, folks? Why all of a sudden, people, if we were so damn ineffective, if what we've been doing and the methods that we've been using on social media and billboards, if that was so damn ineffective, will someone explain to me why Oprah just bought 26 of them? If what we were doing and the way we were doing it was so ineffective, why are they copying us? Please tell me. Someone explain to me, if our methods were so meager and ineffective and insignificant, why are they copying us? Why isn't Oprah on television doing another Where We Go From Here special? Why did she come down or slither out from her mansion, drop the donuts and the Twinkies and come waddling her way down the sidewalk from her ranch? Why didn't she do that? If what we're doing is so ineffective and so marginalized and insignificant, then why did she abandon her media platform and she's over here on ours? Someone explain that to me. If we don't run the yard, if we don't control the narrative, if we're not leading the national discussion, why is she coming over here where we are? Just leave us alone. Leave us alone out here and let us just go ahead and do our thing with our pitiful you ain't got but one little old billboard there. In New York City, you ain't got but 3 old billboards there. And by the way, my billboards in New York are still up, nigga. By the way, if you hating, keep hating. It's been over a month now. The billboards in New York are still up. The billboards in New York are still up. Hate all you would like. They still there. Because I live here. By the way, our billboard started going up months ago, years ago. Oprah Winfrey is late as hell. We've been doing this for months now. So people, when you see celebrities who wasn't doing any of this, and then all of a sudden, they're hopping where you are. All of a sudden, your celebrity rappers are showing up on the Breakfast Club and talking. They're showing up on the internet where they wasn't showing up over here before. All of a sudden, they're showing up on the internet. Yeah, that's where the audience is. They're starting to circulate in familiar circles. That's where the audience is. That's who the people are listening to. And they want some of that influence. They want to be able to have that too. It's not going to work the way you think. Not going to work the way you think and not going to work the way you tell yourselves because you're foreigners here. Let's be very, very clear. You're foreigners. You're foreigners. Oprah don't live here. She doesn't know the language and the vocabulary of the soil. Oprah Winfrey is a fraud, baby. You're a gaijin. You're an outsider. Nobody here knows you and nobody here trusts you. You don't understand the language of the soil. You don't understand the dialect of the soil. You don't understand the speech patterns of the soil. Nobody in the soil understands the way you talk. And even to the extent we understand it, we don't trust it. This isn't going to work for you because you've got no credentials among the soil with the people. They don't know you and they don't trust you. Because the first thing people were asking is where the hell's she been for 4 decades when all of this was going on before now? You could have done it then. You could have done it then. I'm going to say right now, all these celebrities out here, they can send money, they can take their damn opinion. Y'all can hold your damn opinion. You celebrities, you can give your money, you can hold your damn opinions. You really can. You really can. We really don't need, we can use your money, but we can't use your opinions. Your thoughts don't matter. You're not moving no weight. People, this is what winning looks like. This is what change looks like. This is what altering the national discussion looks like. This is what changing things looks like. So if you want to know what it is I've been seeing and what in the world it sounded like and what in the world it is I think of it there, oh yeah, I see it. I see it all. I see it all. And I want you to be aware that, yeah, I've been watching. And yes, I noticed they're following our lead. They're following our lead. And this is exactly where we wish to be. You all thought nobody could hear us. You all thought, and understand something, yes, we made it to 100,000 subscribers in the last couple weeks, but we were influential long before we got here. It wasn't the 100,000 that put us where we are. It was the 1,000. The 1,000 put us where we are. The other 99,000 are following our lead. Oprah's following our lead. Everybody's following our lead because they see that we've had an impact and they see where we're in it. So they're trying their best to get a grip on it. But they see where we've been doing it. And everybody's following our lead now. And this is where we want to be. Folks, we damn sure don't want to be following Oprah's. We don't want to be trying to play catch up on that. We want them following us. We want to be the trendsetter. We want to be the people who set the trends. We want to be the people who frame the discussion. This is not something we can afford to be behind on. My goal when I set up the Black channel was to create a think tank of intelligent Black thought where we would not be up to date. We would be ahead of the curve. Because Black folk are so far behind, we can't just afford to be caught up to everybody else. We need to be ahead of the curve. And what we've been doing both in our prognostication, our predictions, our pontification, and our advocacy, we are ahead of everybody else. Everybody else is behind us. Everybody else is behind us. In the chat room, you're correct. If Oprah Winfrey was so damn sincere, why didn't she go buy 26 billboards in Minneapolis for George Floyd? Oh, I ain't supposed to remind you of that. Where was Oprah in Minneapolis for George Floyd? Why didn't she buy 30 billboards for him up there? Why didn't she do that? If you're one of these jackasses who wants to pretend that, oh, she's sincere because you used to your family sitting up here stealing from you, so you're just one of these unscrupulous niggas who gets along with that. If Oprah Winfrey were really sincere, why didn't she buy 30 billboards in Minneapolis? If she was so sincere. Why is it just for Breonna Taylor and just now? You know why Oprah didn't buy any billboards in Minneapolis before now? Because we hadn't bought any billboards in Minneapolis. We didn't do it. Yes, she also hates Black men, of course. Yes, she hates Black men. She thinks it's a good thing. So she actually considers George Floyd's murder to be a plus. But the other reason is because we didn't do it. We didn't buy it. And because we didn't do it, she couldn't outmaneuver us. She couldn't intercept us. She couldn't cut us off at the pass. Now she's desperately trying to get her bearings. But you got to understand, you can't fake this, Oprah. You've got all the money in the world, baby, but you can't buy credibility. Not at this point, you can't. Yeah, there's some activists who love to have access to your money, but baby, you can't buy street credibility. Somebody better tell her something. Brothers and sisters from around the world, can you purchase street credibility? Can you even rent it? You can't buy this. This is one of these phony Hollywood cocktail parties where if you purchase the right dress or the right shoes, or you can buy your way into the club, you can't buy your way into Black society. You old beanie baby built heifer, you can't buy your way into Black society. You can't buy us off. You can't bribe your way back into Black society, you Teletubbies built heifer. You can't do that. You're not going to be able to bribe us off. You could do that with the civil rights generation. You can't do that with us. You can't do that with us. It's not going to work. There aren't enough wannabe Oprah groupies among the new generation of young Black people. There aren't a bunch of wannabe Oprah Winfrey groupies now. It's not a bunch of people who want to be your damn groupie anymore. You're trying to appeal to people looking for them to be your groupies, and it ain't happening. People are out here dying in the streets. They don't have time to try to figure out how to be your damn pen pal. These young black folk don't look to you as Mama Oprah hoping to get groupied up. So where we are right now, people, she doesn't know the vocabulary. She doesn't know the figures of speech. She doesn't know how to talk to the soil. It's too little, too late. It's too little, too late. And you can't buy or beg or bribe your way back in. Baby, this is while you were out here schmoozing and giggling it up with the white supremacists, because those are your friends and your buddies, and you figure, well, hell, I'm going to help them. I'm going to make sure I'm all right. The rest, I'm going to undermine you niggas and knock y'all down. We're going to make society into a prison. Well, congratulations, Oprah. It's the prison now, but the inmates run the prison. The inmates run the prison now. And you all know how it goes from here. Oprah Winfrey, baby, you can't come out here and buy nothing. You can't buy nothing from us, baby. Your paperwork is dirty on the yard. You don't have the option of buying your way into this, baby. Your paperwork is too damn dirty. You's a snitch. You's a rat. You a turncoat. Baby, you ain't got enough money to come out here on this yard. You ain't got enough money to leave your cell. You can't even walk around the cell block. You can't even do that. We can't even stick you with a cellmate except maybe Stacey Dash. Baby, your paperwork is too damn dirty on the yard. And everybody knows it. That's why niggas got to go fool with Roland Martin. Their paperwork is looking dirty on the yard now. Your paperwork is looking dirty on the yard. You can't walk the yard out here with the rest of the people. You can't do that. You can't do that. The shot callers have already sent the word. You can't do that. So you can go buy all the damn billboards you want. You can put up all the activist websites you like. You can try to take up all the search engine optimization techniques you want to. Baby, the problem is the streets don't fool with your great big ass snow cone built ass. The streets don't fool with you. That's the part you just can't accept, baby. It's too late to do any of this. It is too damn late to do any of this. You're too late. Go buy all the billboards you want. Go buy 26. Go buy 26,000. You can't redeem your reputation at this point. You're a done deal. You're a done deal. And you're not going to be able to trade on the name of Breonna Taylor or anybody else and get yourself out of the jam you're in, baby. The time for you to be doing this, you big, fat, flabby stack of pancakes, the time for you to be doing this was back in 88. Back in 89. That was when the LA riots broke out. That was the time for you to be putting up billboards like this. That was your time to be doing this. When George Zimmerman was walking the streets, that was your time to be doing this. You were supposed to be doing this 3 decades ago. This was the time for you to be doing that, but you weren't. You weren't. You should have been doing all of this back then. If you had, then you'd have credibility. You can't show up 40 damn years later, after you've been aiding and abetting and collaborating with our enemies all this time, and say, well, I'm here to buy redemption? Baby, you can't buy redemption. It's not that situation anymore. You can sit up here and get in your big ass car and come flying into town and wear your big white suits and get your limousine and come crawling your way out your Rolls Royce, built like a bag of sweet potatoes, and think you're going to get black folk to bow down to you. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. You've spent too much time away. The people don't know you. You spent too much time away. You are a stranger. You are walking on foreign soil. And this is a situation where you can't buy what you need. You can't buy what you need. And the reason that she's trying to purchase it is because she doesn't have the wherewithal to earn it. You see, she doesn't have the resources and she doesn't have the time. She doesn't know where to go to earn it, and she doesn't have the time. You spent the last 40 years, you thought you were undermining us, Oprah. You thought you were undermining us. But you were undermining yourself. You thought that you were helping white supremacy to undermine black people. But all you really did was make yourself look like an omelet from IHOP. You ain't undermining us, baby. You undermined you. And now you need credibility. And as old as your big flabby ass is, you should be swimming in credibility at this point from all the decades of work that you put in. Oh, but you ain't put in no work. You ain't put in no work. So you don't have any credibility with which to withdraw from the bank. You haven't deposited anything. You haven't deposited nothing. So I got bad news for you, but the money ain't gonna help you. You spent all these decades not doing nothing. And now that you look like the human beatbox, it's too late for you to sit up here and try to cash in now, baby. You can't buy what you need here. This has got to be earned. This has got to be earned. You can't buy this. You used to your white supremacist friends telling you, oh, you go to Black Society, you can just buy what you want. No, baby, you can't buy this. You have to earn it. And she doesn't even know the vocabulary that is necessary to earn it. She doesn't even know where you would begin. Could you all imagine Oprah Winfrey sitting in a group full of black folks trying to talk to us about what it is like to be targeted by white supremacy? Do you know what Oprah Winfrey considers to be targeted by white supremacy? Remember when she went to that department store? I wanted to buy this handbag, and they asked me if I had a credit. That is my experience with it. I know what it's like to be discriminated against. Got black folk out here getting beat, shot, and killed. And she's going to tell us that racism and white supremacy is something that it comes down to, oh, the clerk at the store questioned her about her ability to buy a handbag. They wouldn't let her buy a handbag. Can you imagine her trying to tell you that when you got pulled over by the police? Brothers and sisters, I've been pulled over by the police. I've been pulled over a bunch of times. I've been literally thrown across the hood of the damn police car. Literally. Can't tell you how many times in Louisiana that's happened. In Louisiana, please. I've been there. I know what it's like. I know what it's like, people. I know what it is to sit up here and have the police tell you, yank you out the damn car. 4 of them standing around you with their hands on their guns, talking about get your driver's license. And as soon as you stick your hand in your pocket to grab your driver's license, they all grab you and throw you across the damn hood of the car. Talking about you was reaching for something. You literally just said, get my driver's license. It's in my pocket. I said it's in my pocket. Okay, get your driver's license out. The second I reached for it, they grabbed me. Threw me straight across the hood. Not just Louisiana, Nevada, Arizona. I got stories from damn near everywhere. If I spent more than a week there, I got stories from everywhere. Los Angeles. I got stories from damn near everywhere. Can you imagine Oprah Winfrey trying to sit down with black folk in the soil and try to act like she can relate? Trying to sit here and tell us, we sitting here telling her about when the police done pulled guns on us, when the judges have tried to throw football numbers at us. We're sitting up here, if you couldn't afford to purchase your own lawyer, they trying to sit up here and throw years at you for a first offense, and Oprah Winfrey is going to waddle her Aunt Jemima built ass through the door and tell you, oh, she understands what that's like. I couldn't buy a handbag, and I'm Oprah. I'm Oprah, and they wouldn't let me buy a handbag. That's equivalent to you getting pulled over by the police, getting shot by the police, with the court system backing it up, with your school resource officers, the cops at the schools, the school resource officers beating up your kids, Oprah sitting up here telling you she understands what that's like. They once wouldn't let her buy a handbag. And then she immediately leaves and goes to go chummy it up with Hillary Clinton. While she just told you that she understands what it's like to be targeted for your race. Don't know a damn thing about us. We are a foreign people to you. That's why this billboard, you're so damn tone deaf, Oprah, that you didn't realize what an insult it was for you to put your damn logo on this billboard to the point that it takes up damn near 20% of the billboard space. You're so out of touch with where the people are that you didn't notice this. You didn't notice that this ain't no game to us, and you're not going to use us to attention whore. You're so out of touch, you didn't get it. You think because this is a joke to you that this is a joke to us. And you don't understand this is real as hell. This is real as hell. What Oprah is finding out, she's finding out what everybody learns when you go to Los Angeles for the first time and you take it upon yourself to wear red or blue. Tell you right now, I've been to Los Angeles many a time. Walked around all over the place. People wear black, people wear white. It's going to be very, very few. If you do see blue, it's going to be dark blue. Nobody wears blue and red like that. And if you dare to try, they're going to let you know. You will get informed. If you're out of touch with the environment's going to let you know. Oprah's out of touch with the environment. She's wearing the wrong colors. She don't know because she's been so out of touch for so long, but she's the only tool the white supremacists got. So they marched her out there. Oprah Winfrey is as intelligent about black people as the average. Oprah Winfrey is a black Karen. How dare Oprah Winfrey attempt to pretend that she can speak to us or for us? She's a black Karen. Oprah Winfrey ain't nothing but a black Karen. Her and Trina and a bunch of others. She's just a black Karen. She can't speak on these issues because y'all got to understand, when Oprah hears about these kind of incidents, the first thing she asks herself is, well, what did you do wrong? She doesn't say, what did the police do wrong? She looks at the black person and says, what did you do wrong? What did you do wrong? That's the way she sees the world is, hey, you must have done something to bring this on yourself. What did you do wrong? When she looks at us through the eyes of a Karen. Tell me the hood that she hangs out in. Tell me the neighborhood she hangs out in. Tell me the black people that Oprah Winfrey hangs with. Show me the young black people that she's watched grow up who are dealing with the current state of racist violence in your post-racial society, your integrated society. Who the hell, who are the black people that she sits around and converses with about our situation as black people in America? Somebody needs to ask her that. Who are the black people that she talks to, that she converses with, who are her chosen friends in her chosen social circle, that she converses with about what it's like to be black in America? Or is it another group of LGBT, flat-faced, buffet-nosed black Karens like her best friend Gail? Her best friend Gail looking like one of the damn goons from Popeye. You gonna tell me that they identify with us as black folk? What the hell they got in common with us? How many of you have been able to purchase anything at a damn luxury store in New York or LA? To the point that you can even trade stories about how they treated you at the place. Oh, I went to the store where they have $50,000 handbags, and I was going to purchase one, and the sales clerk was very rude to me, and they treated me, and I know what it's like. This is how they do us black people. This is how they do us black people. You know, when you went by Barney's or Sotheby's to spend your money there, I know what it's like to be treated like you. I know what it's like to be treated like you. People, she doesn't even know how freaking stupid she sounds. So I'm actually glad. I'm glad that she came out of hiding. I'm glad that she came out of seclusion. I am glad that she did this. I'm glad. I'm glad that she went ahead and did this so that the line is very clearly drawn. Because let me just make this very, very clear, Oprah. You're not going to remove us from the struggle. You're not going to replace us because you can't replace us. You can't replace us, Oprah. You ain't about this life. You're already looking for the next white cocktail party that you can go to. So you can go suck on the barbecue chicken ribs or the chicken wings. She's already looking for the next integrated LGBT function to go hang out at. And what she's hoping is if she throws a little cash around, then that'll be enough to get folk off her ass. But it ain't gonna work. This is not gonna work for you. You can't fake your way through this. You don't have any celebrity friends with street cred who are able to sit here and speak up for you and deceive the masses. And if any people who do have street cred try, it's not gonna go well. If anybody who does have street credibility does try to come to your rescue, If they start doing too much, they're going to drag themselves down with you. They're going to drag themselves down with you. So they got to watch how they tread. They got to watch how they tread here. They need to watch how they tread. Nobody's going to be able to bribe your way back into black society. You've been on the outside too long. The phony pro-black thing, that's not going to work. That ain't going to work. Not for you, not for anybody. That's where we're at today. So brothers and sisters, don't be disheartened. Don't be disheartened. Don't feel bad. Don't feel discouraged. Don't worry that they're trying to hijack what we're doing. I'm telling you all, don't worry about this. These people are the tourists. They're the interlopers. They ain't built for battle. Oprah's not built for battle. Snoop Dogg called Gail a dog-faced bee, and Oprah Winfrey fell to pieces. She started crying and boo-hooing on TV. She ain't built for battle. She's not ready for war, and she ain't built for battle. All it took was Snoop Dogg playing the Dozens and broke her down. You think she's ready for us? You think she's ready to go toe-to-toe with us in our arena? You think she's ready for that? All it took was some white cattle ranchers to sue her, and she was a basket case. You think she's ready for this? Please. Please. She ain't ready for this. Folk, she's play acting. This is make-believe. She's trying to play dress up. You can't play dress up with this, baby. You can't do that. You can't wear a costume and figure you're going to fake it. You're going to put on a black jumpsuit and you're a Negro. No. You don't have the brains. You don't have the heart. You don't have the spine to come over here where we are. Hell, the white folk are already going in on her. She wants to talk about white privilege now. White folk need to acknowledge their white privilege. The white folks started going in on her. Her big sloppy jelly bean built ass started crying again. Baby, you're too beholden to them. You can't do this because you are too beholden to the very people that you call yourself pretending you going in on. You can't do this. You belong to them. You're beholden to them. They got your damn number. They got your damn number. Every time you get too buck, they gonna yank your leash and pull you back. You're not gonna be able to say 3 words without their permission. You can't do this. What's going to happen when they say you doing too much with these billboards? Are you going to tell them, you know, some folk tried to pull my chain, but I said I ain't going to do it. I'm not going to back down. I'm going to double down. When the next black woman gets killed by police and the DA start defending it as justified, where's she going to be? Do you all think she's going to buck white society when the next black woman is killed? Do you think she's going to be about this life? Hell no. Hell no. They're going to let her know, you know, we didn't approve of that last thing you did with all them billboards for Breonna Taylor. Do you think she's going to be able to send it to them? Hell no. Hell no. No, people. The only folk who are going to get it done is us. We're the only ones who are going to get the job done. All these fakers and frauds and phonies are going to parachute into town. All these colored carpetbaggers. All these colored carpetbaggers think they're going to swoop in and hijack what we're doing. That ain't going to work. It's not going to happen that way. You might want it to happen that way. It's not going to happen that way. No, she's not going to admit where she got the idea. None of these people are. You see, we're the ones who take the slings and arrows. We're the people who take the body blows. We're the ones who have to clear the land. We're the pioneers who clear the frontier. We do the heavy work. We do the dangerous work. These other people, these so-called celebrities, since the pandemic hit and they can't get their movies made and TV shows made and albums made, they're sitting up here trying to reach what we doing. They're trying to make up what we're doing. And doing it wrong. But no, they're not going to acknowledge it's us. Because to them, this is just a popular fad. This is just a fad. This isn't a fad for us. We live here. None of us are doing this because this is trendy. Being assaulted by white supremacy isn't fun. None of you who are listening to me right now, you ain't fighting white supremacy because it's a trendy thing to do. You're fighting it because you live here in this place. This isn't something that you do for clicks on Instagram or ratings. It's life and death. It's life and death. So she can't relate to you. She can't relate to you. As Black people, she can't relate to what we're doing. Not at all. So don't be worried and don't be afraid and don't worry about what they're doing. As Black people, don't worry about that. I want you to understand we're on the right side of things. We've never been the most popular. We've never been the most well-known. We've never been the most acclimated to this environment of clout chasing. We don't chase clout. And we want to be right where we are. We want to have people chasing us. We want to have people following our lead. We want to have people following up on what we do. We don't want to be following them. We want them following us. We don't follow trends, we set them. We don't follow agendas, we set the agenda. I want you all to understand that right now we are as powerful as we've ever been. Politicians, presidential candidates, media moguls, the old Black media, the dead Black media is now conceding that that's a problem. The dead Black media itself is now conceding that it's a problem. They're now conceding that they can't make it work on their own. After all this time, they are conceding that they've lost. That's what I'm telling you. After all this time of pretending that everything was okay and we got it all under control, they are now conceding they've lost. They've lost. And now they're conceding it. We're not taking any victory laps here. We're not taking a vacation. We're not taking time off. I'm not calling four of my celebrity friends and telling them, pat me on the back and take a look at what a good damn job I'm doing. I'm not off to go buy a Birkin bag or to go by the Gucci store. all we're going to do is get back to the work. Oprah's done. This is it, people. She bought them billboards and she's like, okay, ain't I black now? She's not looking to get back where we are, people. She don't want this. Oprah Winfrey doesn't want to be treated like a black person. She wants street credibility to an extent, but she wants to get back over with her white friends, Dr. Phil and Dr. Oz and all these other gurus that she got running around messing with children and stuff. That's what she wants to go back to. She don't want nothing to do with us. So understand, people, she's parachuting in so she can get attention for this, and now it's off to the next thing. It's off to the next thing now. She has no interest whatsoever in what we're doing. She's only doing this because her ass is in the crack. Her magazine is going out of business now. She's got no street credibility, and her white masters are like, look here, you big jiggly jello pudding built ass wench. If you don't have any influence with these niggas, we don't need you. And we're going to cut you off. If you don't have any influence with them, you've got no reason to be here. And there's a whole bunch of desperate mammies out there. Simone Sanders and Susan Rice and Oprah Winfrey, they're all trying to prove to white daddy they still got some pull and influence, because if they don't have any influence, he has no use for you. He's got no use for you if you have no influence. After all the money and time that they've invested in you, if your influences run out, they're done with you. Tom Joyner, remember him? You all saw what happened to Tom Joyner. Tom Joyner literally got fired from the radio because he no longer has influence. His numbers, as our numbers have gone up, his numbers have gone down. Every year that we've been doing the Black Channel, Tom Joyner's numbers have gone down. Ours have gone up. His white master said, okay, nigga, you ain't paying no dividends. You got to go. Tavis Smiley, you got to go. Roland Martin, you got to go. If you can't influence black folk, you're of no use to them. You're of no use to them. Tom Joyner did not retire. No, Tom Joyner got pushed the hell out. He said it himself. I already did the broadcast about that. You slow. Go back and watch it. I already did the broadcast where we detailed that. They basically told Tom that we're going to cut your money to nothing. You can keep staying on the radio, but we cut your stations. And he said they cut his money so low that he said it wasn't worth it for him to stay anymore because they cut his paycheck so low. They wanted to pay him, I think, less than $1 million. People that they don't have an old black media to go for, those old useful niggas who can mislead everybody, they don't have anymore. They don't have anymore. The new black media runs the yard. The new black media runs the yard. And the old black media that spent so much damn time capitalizing, made so much money selling out the children, made so much money selling out other black folk, undermining black progress, collaborating with the enemy, all these old niggas that I've spent all these years warning you all about. There's a reason why you ain't hearing from them now. There's a reason why they were desperate, and as they couldn't get the job done, they got moved. People, it's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence. It's not a coincidence that as these people's ratings have dropped and their influences dropped, ours has inversely risen relative to them. Ours has risen. It's not a fluke. It's not some momentary aberration. This is the new normal. Do you understand that? This is the new normal. Now, they ain't going to stop here. You got to understand, it's not going to stop here. Okay? It's not going to stop here. They're going to be back. They're going to try to find somebody else. Hell, they're already hard to work at it. They're going to see if they can elevate another black female built like monkey bread and see if they can get that to work. They trotting out Terry Crews. Remember, they tried to put out Van Jones. They tried to put out Mark Lamont Hill. We'll give them a TV show. Jamel Hill. They keep trying it, people. They're not going to let this go. They want a bought and paid for nigga who's going to toe the line. And what they are refusing to accept is that ain't going to work. That ain't going to work. It's not going to work. The era of the phony pro-black is dead and gone. It's dead and gone. The new black media and intelligent black society, we set the agenda. So look for them now that they have conceded that what we put together in our alternative media network, our alternative promotion platform that we put together, now that they are admitting that our tactics actually work and they are conceding it because they're copying us. Now that they've conceded that, brothers and sisters, don't look for them to back down, look for them to double down. They're going to keep making incursions, but it's going to keep failing. And I just want you to remember that this is what winning looks like. But we can't stop now. We can't rest on our laurels. We got to double down. I know you've been working hard, and I know that it's been difficult. I know it's been a grind, but we got to keep at it now, brothers and sisters. We got them on the run. Brothers and sisters, we got them on the run now. We got them on the run. Let's keep them there. They're coming over to our side. They're imitating our language. They're trying to steal our vocabulary and everything else, not because they're going to champion our cause, but because they want to hijack it. And then once they're in control of it, then they're going to shut it down. We want to hijack the agenda you all have built so that when we're in charge, we can shut it down. We ain't going to let that happen. Black folk are not going to fall for it again. We're not going to let that happen. Oprah Winfrey is going to get to go back to Chipotle and go get the black bean burrito with the guacamole. We're going to put her where she belongs. She belongs over there, not over here. It's too late. The pro-black pretenders who think they're going to slither their way back in, no, not going to happen. We're not going to let it happen. This is a movement and an agenda that we built. We built this. And even if you could hijack it, which you can't, but even if you could, as soon as the people see that you're not fixing their problems, they would just abandon you again and come looking for us. That's all that would happen. They're just going to abandon you again and come looking for us. That's it. That's all it's going to be. That's it. If you are new here to the Black Channel, welcome to the haven of intelligent Black thought. Over 100,000 subscribers and rising. We are not a little thing by any stretch of the imagination. From media outlets to politicians to presidential candidates, we've got everybody watching, everybody looking, and everybody following our lead. If you have not clicked that red subscribe button, what the hell are you waiting for? Be a part of what you've been missing out on and click that yellow notification bell so that when we're on, you're on. If you haven't seen our groundbreaking Amazon best-selling documentary work, you want to go to our website, blackchannelfilms.com. It is blackchannelfilms.com. gentrifiedfilms.com. Check out our work, 7 a.m., Gentrified, Ethnic Cleansing American Style, and our newest documentary, Race War. All available on sale, all available on Amazon, all available for streaming, all available now. blackchannelfilms.com. You want to be there. And this concludes tonight's broadcast of the Black Channel. I am your host, your brother, your humble servant, the Black Authority. Until next time, my brothers and my sisters from around the world, remember, Black is the future, and the future is uncompromising.